Hi, students and parents. This is Brother Wilcox. I wanted to try to answer some questions about the reading requirements for seminary and how they align with Come Follow Me. So feel free to pause this and study this chart as you need to, but I'll try to explain it quickly. We have reading for seminary. We have reading for Come Follow Me. Okay, so these are the two rows here. Up here, you'll kind of see your progression from your first semester as a freshman, okay, all the way to your final semester as a senior, okay, with some summer breaks there. We all like the summer breaks. As you'll notice for Come Follow Me, your reading doesn't take a summer break, okay? You're reading Romans through Revelation from August to December of this year to finish up Come Follow Me, and in January you're going to start the Book of Mormon and go all the way through December to finish that up. And then you'll do the D and C, and you'll do the Old Testament, and then you'll be into the first part of the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay, so since seminary we have summer breaks, it won't always line up perfectly, but we're going to be in the same general area, with one exception. You'll notice right now in Come Follow Me, you're studying Romans through Revelation, and in seminary we're studying Matthew through John. The reason we did that is because with this transition of aligning seminary with Come Follow Me, every seminary student is going to miss something during their seminary career. For ninth graders, the only thing you'll miss ever studying in seminary is Romans through Revelation, because you'll notice you're going to study Matthew through John, and you'll get the first half of the Book of Mormon your last semester of your freshman year. You'll get the last half of the Book of Mormon your first semester of your sophomore year. You'll get the first half of the D&C your last semester of your sophomore year. You'll get the last half of it your first semester as a junior. Then you'll get the first half of the Old Testament your last half of your junior year. You'll get the last half of the Old Testament your first semester of your senior year. And then your last semester of seminary, your last semester as a high school student, you'll do Matthew through John again. You'll repeat it. Okay? The reason we're doing that is because we want to get you aligned with the Come Follow Me curriculum as best as we possibly can. And so we chose to double up on Matthew rather than doubling up on Romans through Revelation. Okay, so what does it take to graduate seminary? 4 years of attendance credit plus reading. Okay, the requirement is to read all the chapters from the Come Follow Me curriculum for each of the standard works by the end of your senior year. Okay, so if you'll just plan to read starting right now, if you haven't already, whatever Come Follow Me tells you to read, and you'll do that from now until the end of your senior year, you'll notice you will have gotten the first half of the New Testament, the last half of the New Testament, all of the Book of Mormon, all of the D&C, and all of the Old Testament. Now, when I say all of it, I don't mean every word of the Old Testament, for example, but all of the Come Follow Me reading from the Come Follow Me curriculum is what you'll be reading. So our recommendation is that you would read and you would track this daily. Okay, that you would follow the Come Follow Me reading schedule, and that you'll develop a personal plan to read Acts to 1 Corinthians 13, or wherever you're at. Wherever we're at today might be different, because you'll notice you're not going to get that in Come Follow Me again. Okay, so if there's anything from Romans up to where you currently are in your Come Follow Me, if you haven't read that, you'll need to make a personal plan to read that. Okay. Now, the reading requirement is a little, I want to make sure you understand. So when I made this slide, our study that week was 1 Corinthians 14 through 16. It's not enough to just read the ideas for family scripture study and family home evening, or the ideas for personal scripture study. You'll notice it gives a few verses, 1 Corinthians 15, 35 through 54 to read. And then you have this to help you study it. Those are great tools to help you study, but for seminary reading, you need to read all of the chapters that are outlined in each of the weeks of the Come Follow Me curriculum. Okay? To help you to track all of that, we have a tool that is available to you And if I can get PowerPoint to close, I'll show you that tool. This tool is available in the Google Play Store or in the Apple App Store. It's called Seminary Institute. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to open it. And when I open it, it's going to take me right into it because I've already logged in. A student and or a parent can log into this app using their LDS account user information. The same thing you'd use with Family Search or to log into LDS.org. Okay? I'm doing this as a parent, and so I see all 3 of my children who are of seminary or institute age. If they're not of that age, they're not going to show up here. Because we're looking at our 9th grade class, I'm going to take Katie as the example. I will click on the student, and it's going to pull up a way to track reading, attendance, the assessment, which will come at the end of the semester, so we'll talk more about that then. Shows you where you're at in seminary, who your teacher is. Right now, the graduation tab is going to look a lot like this tab because you're in your first year, but as you start to get other years under your belt, you'll see New Testament, Book of Mormon, and Old Testament all entered here. You can see how you're coming towards graduation. And then some profile information, where you can enter information here about the seminary, about your family contacts, etc. So since we're primarily focusing on reading right now, let me go here. If I click on reading, you can first of all, you can see that Katie's 2% done with the 96 reading assignments given for the New Testament. And so when I click there, it brings up all 4 years. We're in the New Testament, so I'm going to click there again. Okay? And by default, it goes to those chapters which have not been marked as being read yet. And so you can scroll through here and you can see what hasn't been read. Right now, we're in 2 Corinthians 8 through 13 and come follow me. And so if Katie read that on Sunday, she'd come here, she'd click this box. Okay? And it would now, I hope it doesn't take a few minutes. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked that as part of the video. Okay, and now you're going to notice that 2 Corinthians 8 through 13 is now gone. Where did it go? Well, you clicked it, so it's not unread. But if you clicked on all, you'd be able to go back here, and now it's going to show all of the reading, including those that you've clicked. Okay? Since I don't know if Katie's read that, I'm going to unclick it, and it will undo that. So you can keep track. Both the student and the parent have access to keep track of this information for their students. Okay? And you'll just notice that it follows the Come Follow Me curriculum. So this week we're studying 2 Corinthians 8 through 13. Next week it'll be Galatians. The next week it'll be Ephesians, and you can just look and see that it completely follows the Come Follow Me curriculum. So that's how you mark the reading. I hope this has been helpful to help you to see how to keep track of reading, what's expected and what's required. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can give me a phone call. You can shoot me an email. You can stop by the seminary. I'd be happy to help you understand all of this. I just want you parents to know how grateful I am for your youth that are in the seminary class. It's a great class. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have to study the gospel with them. I learn from them as we study together, and I'm just grateful for that opportunity. Thank you, and again, if you have questions, please reach out to me.